In today's video, I'm going to be driving both of these, the Hummer EV3X and then Tesla's Cybertruck. I'm going to go through the differences between both of them, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you which one I liked driving more. Now, the crazy thing to talk about up front is the Cybertruck was fitted with the largest ever windshield wiper to be fitted to a production car. The Hummer has 3 windshield wipers. Now, the interesting thing here is the Hummer EV actually comes in truck form, which we have here. I love that it has this rear window that comes down. It's such a cool feature. It also has a digital mirror. So you can see, there I am in the digital mirror. And the Hummer has a digital mirror. And the Cybertruck also has a digital mirror, but the problem is it's on the screen and not the mirror itself. And I think that was a big miss for the Cybertruck. Now, the bed in the Hummer EV is 4 feet wide and 5 feet long, and it has the Pro tailgate here, so this folds down into a step, and then you're able to connect your phone via Bluetooth to this kicker sound system. This is a $900 option, but it is a really cool and unique option. I just am not sure how much you would actually use it unless you were going to tailgates or sporting events all the time. It is a cool feature that it's possible that you can do this. If you're optioning it, I would just hope that you're actually going to use it. Now, the rear of the Cybertruck here has a really nice feature, and that's the tonneau cover that literally every single Cybertruck comes with. It comes up like this, and it can hold up to 250 pounds. I just find this extremely useful because then you can actually use it for putting in things like golf clubs or your bag from Nordstrom's, or your wife's boyfriend can put his stuff back here too. That would be a really nice feature. Now, where I think they missed is because this is up, you can't see out of the rear view mirror, and so they rely on a camera system, and it puts the mirror right here on the screen. I just find that they could have done a better job of that and just making this a digital and analog mirror just like they have in the Hummer. Now, a lot of people that get the Cybertruck probably won't use it for work, but my friend Greg, who actually owns this, uses it on a daily basis for work. So he's going to walk us through the rear of the Cybertruck.
I use this thing all the time for work. I own an AV business, so I'm moving TVs or materials and stuff. One of the things that Tesla that's really cool with the Cybertruck, that is it's 8 feet here at the complete bottom. So you're wide enough to fit and long enough to fit. Sheets of plywood. I think it's quoted you can fit 10 or 12 of them tall before you hit the taper of the bed, the encroachment. With moving TVs and stuff, that's usually quite good too. You have a ton of different tie down points as well. You have power in the bed, so you can actually run a welder if you're super crazy, or charge another electric vehicle. You have a couple low voltage there as well if you're just trying to charge tools or whatnot on a job site. Another really sweet thing just for storing those tools or whatever else, maybe even ice, they've actually put a drain plug here in the bottom of this bed sub trunk here, so you could put ice, keep drinks cool, put tools like I do. I keep jumper cables just in case, you know, you gotta help somebody else out.
The water, it's all sealed off.
It is sealed off. They've done a really good job of allowing there to not be much of a water encroachment. I actually washed this morning, so this is residual water from that, but you can notice there's 0 water that got in here, and that was with a pretty high PSI pressure washer. So they've done a good job. Same with the bed cover. There can be water. It's not a waterproof bed by any means, but generally speaking, once that tonneau is closed up, you're not really going to have much of an issue with rainwater getting into materials, into the bed period, or whatever you might be moving. So pretty cool. They call it the vault.
Now, if you own a Cybertruck, or any Tesla for that matter, you may want a MagSafe phone mount, and today's video sponsor, MagBack, has just what you need. These phone mounts are built with a minimalist design, and your phone can be mounted vertically or horizontally. It plugs right into your USB-C port and gives you the ability to easily view your phone while charging it. I also got their MagBack Elite phone case in black, which has a built-in loop design that sits flush. I've never seen that before. It has a kickstand so you can watch my YouTube videos while you're eating, and protection for your camera lenses. You can go with a stealth black look or use one of their color accent packages, as you can see here. Even with all of that packed in, it's still incredibly thin and light. This kit also includes a screen protector and a kit to perfectly mount it. I've been using MagBack products for over 3 years now and love their mount and phone cases. Use code 15Gjeebs to get a discount on their website, and I will have both links for these below. If you're interested in purchasing a Cybertruck or any Tesla, I will have Greg's referral link down in the description. Right now, you're able to save $1,000 to $2,000 per car, depending on which one you get. All right, so first we're going to take the Hummer for a spin. A few things about the Hummer that I absolutely love is you have this rear window here. So if I hit this button right here, it just takes that whole thing down, and I love that feature, and you get even more airflow through the car when that is down. Obviously, it just lets it all come through here, but I also love how quick it is to react up and down. So that is a really cool feature here. Then if we put it into drive, it has all-wheel steering, and the big difference, you know, the Cybertruck has the drive-by-wire, okay? So look how much I have to turn this wheel lock to lock, and I'm able to pivot this around. This turning radius on this is better than my Model Y, so it's very nimble, even in a tight parking lot. So that's very cool. The difference is how little input you have to do on the Cybertruck. So I really like that feature about it. The other thing that I love that the Cybertruck doesn't have is it's a convertible. You can't get a Cybertruck, and that's what really appeals to me about the Hummer EV, is just the fact that it's so ridiculous. You can launch it and go 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. It's a convertible, rear window goes down. It's also a truck. It may not be as usable a truck as the Cybertruck is, but it's ridiculous, and that's kind of what I love about it. It also costs a decent amount more than the Cybertruck, so you'd have to almost look to the used market where they're in the 70s and 80s to get a more comparable price. But overall, I'm shocked at how much I like driving this thing, because it has a sound to it, it has a feel to it where a lot of EVs are numb. The Cybertruck is much more precise and tied down. This just feels like they put a massive battery pack in it, 205 kilowatts, and then gave it the range that you'd want, 355. It says 329 miles, but the readout when it's basically fully charged is 346, 350 miles. I'm just really impressed with this thing. There's also this button right here. This is a little paddle shifter almost that adds 5 times the regenerative braking that the car normally has. So if I'm coming to a stop, I pull this and it puts you forward, almost like using a brake that puts energy back into the battery, and then you don't have to rely on your brakes as much. Normally it's like 23 kilowatts of braking. This takes it up to like 128. So I really like it. And then just the ease of use with this thing. Just did a Pittsburgh left on that person. But it's 10,000 pounds, and then it drives like it's, you know, like a Honda Civic or something. It's not hard to accelerate this car. So I really like how it drives. I've already pointed out the digital mirror here, which is really nice for something this large. But it's crazy to me that this is going under the radar. I think potentially it's going under the radar because of what it costs. I just love how ridiculous it is. It sits up like you go next to an 18-wheeler and you're like, hey, shake hands with the guy out the window. It's amazing how high you're sitting up, and then it floats like a boat. When you get off, the air suspension levels itself. It's amazing that a car that this size moves like it does. I mean, even though it's electric, it still weighs 10,000 pounds, and it gets off the line and puts the power down immediately. Now, when you're not launching the car, 0 to 60 from a dig is 4.1 seconds. When you put it into launch control, it takes it to 3.4. That is done by double tapping your traction control. It sends a message to the dashboard here. You have to confirm, and then you do foot on brake, foot on gas, and then you let off and it goes. So I'm really enjoying driving this thing around. Like I've looked forward to every morning getting up and driving this thing around, because it's just been shockingly different than just about any other EV that I've driven. Crab walk mode, it's cool. It's not that cool. I don't know really why you would use it, but overall the Hummer EV is excellent. So now we're gonna jump into the Cybertruck, see what that's like to drive, and I'll give you my opinion on what I would actually choose to pick if I had to own one or the other. Driving the Cybertruck, the immediate thing you notice is the steering is incredibly precise. I absolutely love it. The other thing you'll notice that's completely the opposite of the Hummer, it's like the largest windshield ever that you're looking through. The Hummer, you're looking through this little window here, but in my opinion, the Hummer is actually easier to maneuver in some situations because you can actually see where the corners of the vehicle are, whereas this just kind of falls off into the abyss. But luckily Tesla fitted a front-facing camera to the Cybertruck. Most Teslas do not have a front-facing camera, so that's been really nice. The other thing is this center console is much more open, so I really like that aspect to it. And the huge thing about the Cybertruck is that this infotainment system, this is everything. This is all your buttons and switches, and people love and hate that. What you will love about it is over time, the updates that they will make to the vehicle that make it drive better, add features to the vehicle. Whereas GM is, I think I saw someone the other day say they've had a Hummer for at least a year and there have been no updates that have been sent out to them, whereas Tesla will send sometimes one a month, significant updates too. If there's a recall, it will generally be handled through your over-the-air update. You'll just get a notification on your phone, it'll say update, click, and it's done. You don't ever have to take it to the dealership, whereas the Hummer, they don't have that technology, that vertical technology integration that Tesla has, but a lot of people don't care. They just want the Hummer, and that's what they want. They like how it looks and drives, and that's that, and there's nothing you can really do to convince them otherwise. Tech Bro in a 4 Series right there is sick. What's surprising to me is the Cybertruck is a much more refined and quiet driving experience. The Hummer is like this wild thing. There's a ton of tire noise. Obviously, you have the removable roof. It's a really different experience, and this, because of the weight of the steering, this through the steering wheel feels heavier, but the Hummer is about 4,000 pounds heavier than the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck doesn't get enough credit for how light it is. It's about 6,800 pounds. I'm not saying that's light, but for an electric truck, that's very light. That's incredible work by the Tesla engineers, and you want to see these weights start to come down because it just gets ridiculous to a certain point. The Hummer gets the same range as this, essentially, but has a 205 kilowatt hour battery pack. This has about 125 or 130 kilowatt hour battery pack. So despite what this looks like on the outside, it's actually a fairly efficient vehicle when you compare it to the Hummer. As far as like, yes, this is more shocking to drive around. This is more controversial. When people see the Hummer, they're like kind of pumped or didn't even know it existed. At the same time, if you go outside of the car world, if you're watching this vehicle, you're probably into cars in some aspect. If you go outside the world, some people don't even know what this is. They don't even know that Tesla makes a truck. And that's appealing to a lot of people as well, to have something that, you know, no one even knows what it is. But the sound system in this is better. It drives the much more calming driving experience. That's not a good or a bad thing. It's just what it is. The Hummer, to me, has a more fun and visceral feeling to it. This is refined. With 35-inch tires, it's surprising that it drives as smoothly and as calmly as it does. The other thing to note is this has the full self-driving capability. So the Hummer has Blue Cruise. So on Blue Cruise, you're able to double tap and it'll steer on roads that are approved. Full self-driving doesn't ever need to see a road and it will figure out how to drive on it. And that is remarkable that these have that feature. But you do have to pay for full self-driving, whereas you don't have to pay for the Blue Cruise feature. I don't think there's a subscription fee. But that's another thing to consider is autopilot, which the cars, all Teslas come with, is an excellent feature and is more advanced than Blue Cruise because you can use it on this road, you can use it on a major interstate. It's very useful. And then the other thing is the steering wheel here. Some people like it, some people hate it. I just am happy it has a top and a bottom to it, not like Tesla's original yoke. But I love the Cybertruck. I love how it drives. I love the capabilities they've packed into it. Sound system, technology, drive. And then on top of that, having Tesla's charging network, it kind of makes it unbeatable. It's going to charge a lot faster than the Hummer. The Hummer has just a massive battery pack on it. So which one would I rather have? If someone just said, hey, you can have this or you can have this, I would take the Hummer. The reason I would take the Hummer is because it's just a riot. It just... For electric vehicles, a lot of them don't have souls. A lot of them have nothing that really differentiates them, minus the look that the Cybertruck has, which is shocking. The Hummer, though, has a hum to it. It's fast. It has the air suspension, all-wheel steering, which this also has. Both of those. But for me, it's just a ridiculous vehicle. I love that it's a convertible, it's a truck, it's everything. And then I had to change shirts because of the cars we're reviewing. Someone sent me this shirt, I'd never worn it, and it was time. So I think I would actually take the Hummer despite the technological advancements that are in the Cybertruck. Now, I do also own a Rivian R1T, so if you want to see me drive that across the country and see what the charging is like, check this video out right here. I think you'll really enjoy it.